Hello everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Rafael and welcome to today's video. Today I have another legendary build for you. Yesterday I made a post on my community page on YouTube and I asked you what type of builds you guys want to see, and meta builds were the winner with like 30-35% of the votes. So here is a very common, very known and a very powerful legendary build, red build, right? So let's jump right into it. First of all, you have to use an assault rifle with this build, or at least the version that I'm showing you here. You can either use the FAMAS, the Police 4, or the Carbine 7. It doesn't really matter which of the three you use. All those three weapons are very good, so you won't notice any big difference between them. When it comes to the talents, you can use Optimist, Killer, or even Strange if you like. If you decide to go with Killer, however, you should know that you're gonna have a harder time proccing that when you play with other players, because you know they're gonna be killing enemies as well and they might be stealing your kills or whatever, so you're gonna have a harder time proccing Killer. The two things that every assault rifle you decide to go with should have is, of course, having a maxed out assault rifle damage roll, and of course having a 10% damage targets out of cover as your third attribute on the weapon. Those two must be as high as possible, so you want to have them maxed out. Moving on, we're going to be using the Fox sprays for our knee pads because we want the 8% damage targets out of cover. We have weapon damage maxed out and critical hit damage maxed out as well. And then the second brand set pieces that we're going to be using is the Fenris Group AB, the chest piece. Of course, the reason that we're going to go with the Fenris is because we get an extra 10% assault rifle damage, and because we're playing with an assault rifle, it's going to boost our damage quite a lot. We have weapon damage maxed out, headshot damage maxed out, critical hit chance maxed out, and critical hit damage maxed out. This roll over here, this attribute of headshot damage, is the only thing in this build I would like to change and, you know, have it as critical hit damage. But sadly we cannot because I had to recalibrate the talent. The talent is Focus, increases total weapon damage by 5% every second you are aiming while scoped 8 times or higher, and the damage increases all the way up to 50%. Of course, you're going to need an 8x scope with this. So in our FAMAS, as you can see right here, we have the 8x scope, 30% headshot damage. We have a 5% critical hit chance from the laser and another 5% critical hit chance from the muzzle brake. And of course, a 20-round magazine. When it comes to the chest piece talent, you know, if you don't like Focus, other good options are Obliterate and Glass Cannon. However, Obliterate is going to offer you half the damage Focus is, and Glass Cannon, even though it's going to offer you 25% amplified damage, you're also going to have to take 50% amplified damage dealt to you, which is not a good thing, especially in a legendary mission, especially when we have 6 red cores. If you have a healer in your team, it will be easier, of course, to play with a Glass Cannon. However, if you don't have a healer, it's going to be harder than playing with Focus. However, there are a lot of great players out there who are very good at playing with Glass Cannon even on legendary missions, so whatever suits you. I decided to go with Focus because it gives me 50% extra damage, which is great, and also doesn't take away any of my survivability like Glass Cannon does, so I felt like Focus was the better option here. I'm combining this Focus talent with my shield, the Crusader shield, which obviously cannot protect me for a long time because, you know, we have no blue or yellow cores. However, those 4 or 5 hits that the shield can withstand is quite a lot of time for me to realize that, you know, I need to move, otherwise my shield is about to break and I'm gonna die as well. So it gives you some extra hits that you can absorb. Right now, the most important part of this build, of course, are the 4 Negotiator dilemma pieces. At 2 pieces we will get 15% critical hit chance, at 3 pieces we will get 20% critical hit damage, and then we have the hostile negotiations, critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds up to 3 marks total. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, gain +2 critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times or until combat ends. So when a marked enemy dies, we're going to get 2% critical hit damage. That stacks up to 20, so that's an extra 40% critical hit damage. And the most important part, of course, is this part over here. When you shoot somebody with a critical hit, you mark him. You can mark up to 3 people. So if you marked 3 enemies and you're shooting just one of them, the other 2 are also going to be taking damage 60% of what you're doing to that one guy that you're shooting at. However, that 60% over here goes all the way up to 100% because we have the Negotiator's Dilemma backpack. Critical Measure is the talent. Increases hostile negotiations damage to additional marked enemies from 60% to 100%. So basically, you're just hitting one guy, but 2 more enemies will be taking 100% of the damage you're doing to the guy you're shooting. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to be wondering about my stats. So my stats right now are 53% critical hit chance, 136.9% critical hit damage. Remember, the critical hit damage can get a boost all the way up to 40% just by the Negotiator's Dilemma talent. And the critical hit chance is 53 and not 59 because I could get that very easily by just changing, where is it? This gear mode over here from 11.9% critical hit damage. I can put a 6% critical hit chance in there and get 59% critical hit chance in total. I'm not doing that because there are quite a lot of chances that when I'm gonna join the group, somebody in that group will be running will be running the exotic mask called Coyote Mask, which is going to give me extra critical hit chance. As soon as I join a group and I see what the other people are running, I decide if I want to, get more critical hit chance or lower my critical hit chance. When it comes to the Negotiator pieces that I didn't show you, weapon damage, critical hit chance, everything is maxed out in this build. Weapon damage, critical hit chance, and 11.7% critical hit damage. Weapon damage, critical hit damage, again maxed out, and then we have weapon damage, critical hit damage, of course. Everything maxed out. The last thing I want to talk about, of course, is the specializations. I decided to go with Demolitionist simply because it gives me the Brace for Impact talent, which allows me to ignore one explosion every 60 seconds, which can be life-saving a lot of times. However, Gunner is also a pretty good option because you'll get 10% armor on kill, you will get 50% faster reload time every third time you reload, and you're also going to be getting a 5% increase rate of fire every kill you take for 5 seconds. Pick whatever specialization you prefer, whatever suits you the best, as well as picking every weapon that suits you the best. It can be the FAMAS, the Police, or the Carbine 7 as we just talked about. So yeah, that's it pretty much, guys. I hope that you like the build and that you find it helpful. Leave down below any comments you have, any suggestions, any questions, anything like that. You can always leave a comment and we can talk about it. Thank you guys for all the support you have been showing the last couple of weeks. You're literally insane. I really appreciate it and it really means a lot to me. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye bye.